Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, today we are going to talk about chapter 12 of the manga verses. I told you guys we were going to do a separate video where I talk about it. It's just the chapter was extremely long, and I wanted to make sure that I got it out to you guys so you could watch it. But today we're going to talk about it. So, quite a few things that I wanted to talk about regarding this chapter. This chapter was very eventful, had a lot of things going on, and a lot of important information that I think is going to be foreshadowing or critical to the future of this manga and what takes place in it. So, for example, I want to point out the people from the Mad God world when all the explosions and destruction was going on from that one particular Mandarin flying around, shooting laser beams and things like that. They're petrified, right? The Mad God's World people think that they're going to die. And one thing that I found really interesting is it's like they're so scared of this mad god that even though they're essentially faced with death, they're still thinking to themselves, we cannot pray. You know, the lady was literally holding him saying, don't pray, you know, and he's like, I'm on the verge and stuff like that. But that's how petrified of this mad god they are. But it also makes me think, how strong is this god if even with these extremely strong enemies they see in front of them, the demons, the Mandarins, etc., they still think that this god can essentially save them from all these enemies? Kind of makes me think that maybe this god is like OP. So I found that really interesting. The king of the magic forces world is not looking too good, right? The curse is overwhelming his body. He is riddled with the markings of it and so forth. I mean, honestly, guys, he looks like he's on the verge of death. So this curse is no joke. In a way, in my opinion, I feel like the curse is very similar to the parasite, but obviously in a different way and stuff. But yeah, the king is not looking too good, guys. Hopefully he makes it through, but he's looking at death's door right now. One thing I thought to myself is, can the curse affect the other enemies, right? Who knows, man? Maybe these Mandarins are just too strong and maybe the demons can't fuck with them. However, what if the curse is the fucking Achilles heel of these Mandarins? What if that's the one and only thing that fucks them up, right? Like, who knows? Who knows? Or maybe it's a different enemy. You know, I don't know. Let's talk about Kiva. So I noticed that Kiva mentioned that he's been alive for 250 years. So interesting to note that the demons have extremely long lifespans and they could live for hundreds and hundreds of years, if not thousands of years. So I just thought that was pretty interesting. And then he also mentions that he was born into a high-class family and was recognized by Demon King Jachi. So with him saying that, it definitely kind of makes me think that it's a strong possibility that my theory that Kiva is Demon King Jachi's son, it makes it less likely. However, there's something that happens later in this chapter that makes me think, well, I don't know, maybe not. I don't know, we'll see. So apparently in this world or in this universe, were demons and such in the versus manga, apparently there's classes. Like you got the poor, you got the middle class, and you got the high class, I guess, you know, the wealthy. And apparently Kiva is a part of the high class, you know. So I thought that that was really interesting that even amongst the demons, there's classes of wealth. I thought that that was really interesting. But yeah, it says that he was born into a high-class family and he was recognized by Demon King Jachi and appointed to be one of his demon executives. So I thought that was interesting. So moving on. So let's talk about Zabi for a second. So obviously in this chapter, Zabi decides to revive Kiva even though Kiva has already lost. So I found that really interesting. Like, he decided that he wanted to revive Kiva, but Kiva had just gotten gut punched by that Mandarin and he was fucking done. Honestly, if Zabi wouldn't have revived him, I think he would have died. He was saying as he was thinking back on his life, he was like, I could feel myself slipping into more unconsciousness, and he was talking as if he was going to die. So I thought it was interesting that Zabi had come to a conclusion of, no, I'm going to revive him, which is going to lead me to my next thing. But I just thought it was interesting that he was going to revive Kiva even though Kiva lost the first round, essentially, right? So, thought that was interesting. However, another thing that I noticed is as Zabi was reviving Kiva, one of his colleagues who was like, hey, Zabi, what are you doing? Why are you reviving him? He's at death's door. Just let him die. He noticed that Zabi was using a particular spell. Now, they didn't describe or explain exactly what kind of spell Zabi was using, but it's a strong possibility that maybe the spell that Zabi was using was a spell that not only revives Kiva, but actually gives him a power boost. Kind of like in Dragon Ball Z, when a Saiyan has a battle, they lose, they come near death, but as long as they don't die, and as long as they can recover and revive, they actually come back stronger. They become a stronger version of their previous self. And I think in Dragon Ball Z it was called the Zenkai boost or something like that. But you know, it just kind of is similar and reminiscent to that phrase, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? So it seems like maybe Zabi revived him with the spell like that to where I'm going to heal you, and as you're becoming healed, you're actually going to become a stronger version of your previous self. And maybe that's why he thought, I'm just going to revive him because he's going to be stronger anyway than what he previously was. And another thing that makes me think that is that when Kiva becomes revived, you could see Kiva look at his hand and tighten his fist and grip it as if he notices that he's stronger, that he did get a power up of some sort. So I thought that was really interesting. Another thing that I found really interesting is General Garrisp. When Kiva revived himself and he became violent almost immediately and just kind of like popped up, General Garrisp was really impressed with, he says, the vitality, and I had to look up the definition of vitality, but vitality is basically the energy and the abilities of a particular individual. So General Garrus was very impressed with the vitality of the demon. So he's like, wow, so this is a demon, huh? This is what a demon is capable of. Like, this is really impressive. Now, maybe he just admired it. He was just an admirer of what an organism is capable of that isn't a human. But in a way, too, it almost seemed a little sinister. Like maybe he was planning something. You know, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I'm going to keep that in mind for the future because you never know. They might capture a demon, experiment on it, maybe try to turn it into their own weapon. Because remember, he's from the machine world where the technology is kind of futuristic. It's kind of advanced. Probably not as advanced as the cosmic devil world, but the next best thing. So who knows, man? Let's keep General Garrisp in mind in this situation where he observed Kiva, because that was a little suspicious to me. So going back on to Kiva, Kiva acknowledges that these new enemies in Hollow are concerning. So Kiva's like, man, there was a point in my life where everything just came with ease. These humans were not a problem, but this hero Hollow, and then now all these new enemies that are popping up, the fucking robots, now the Matarins. Kiva is concerned, okay? And he's a demon executive of the 11th Demon King, right? So he's no punk, but he's like, bro, this is becoming a problem. So that's really interesting, man. It's really interesting that this demon executive is like, yeah, this ain't looking too good for us, dog. Another thing that I found interesting is even though Kiva has been revived, more than likely he's gotten this power up, Kiva still understands that this one Matarin, remember there's 4 of them present, but there's only one that's doing anything. The rest of them are just floating around in the sky. They don't give a fuck. They're just chilling. There's only one of them that is putting hands on all these demons. And Kiva he's thinking to himself like, yeah, I feel stronger, but this dude is still a problem. I need to call for backup. So Kiva spits out the flute, blows the flute, calls for backup. And I did find this interesting before I even got to read the English version of chapter 12. As soon as he blew it, these other 3 demon executives landed immediately. They came down, destroyed the ships that the Matarins had called. They destroyed the ships and they're like, what's up? What you blow the flute for? Who want the smoke? Oh, these niggas right here? All right, say less. It's like they were there so quickly. I just thought that was interesting. I'm like, man, this flute shit must really be important to these demons. However, when the English version came out, that's when I got to read that even Kiva was like, whoa, you guys got here almost immediately after I blew the flute. He's like, that's too quick. That's way too quick. Why did you guys get, or how? How and why did you guys get here so quickly? And one of the demons is like, ain't nobody worried about you, bro. Demon King Jachi had already sent us to ensure your safety. Okay, now I found that really interesting. That kind of brings me back to what I had said earlier regarding Kiva being born into a high class and being recognized by Demon King Jachi. That made me think, oh, well, maybe he's not Demon King Jachi's son. However, the fact that Demon King Jachi wants to ensure the safety of Kiva, guys, remember, these are demons. They're killing innocent human beings and stuff like that. They don't really have mercy or a conscience like that. However, you have this demon king concerned for the safety of one of his underlings. That is very interesting to me. Like, why? Is it because maybe secretly Kiva is his son? And maybe he had Kiva with the mom, but he dipped out. He's like, I got some Demon King shit to do. You go ahead and raise him. But once he gets of age, I'll let him in my army or something like that. Like, who knows? So when I read that Demon King Jachi wanted to ensure his safety, I was like, well, maybe my theory about him being a son isn't a total bust. You know, now he could just, I don't know, maybe there's another reason that he's concerned for his safety. He doesn't necessarily have to be Kiva's father or anything like that, but who knows, right? We're going to let one tell the story because he's such a good storyteller. But I thought that was really interesting. Even though Kiva has this power up, he tried to strike the Mandarin, even with his power up. And the Mandarin still blocked it with ease. Now, another thing I found interesting, other than the fact that the demons informed Kiva that they were sent by Demon King Jachi to ensure his safety, the reason Demon King Jachi sent the other three demon executives is because more of the Mandarins have been popping up in other locations, right? So that means that it's not just these four Mandarins in this particular location. There are other Mandarins popping up in different parts of the world, and Demon King Jachi is aware of this, and he's like, okay, yeah, go check on Kiva, make sure he gets back safely. So it's almost like an invasion at this point. And are the other Mandarins, are they causing chaos and destruction in other parts of the world? Are they defeating some of the other demon executives, maybe from other demon kingdoms? Are they defeating other demon kings? Because remember, there's a total of 47. Very interesting that there are more Mandarins scattered throughout. I was really impressed with the look of the other demon executives. I thought that the other demon executives looked really cool. Honestly, their looks, it got me really excited. And there's something about this Versus manga that to me is very reminiscent of the early years of Dragon Ball Z. Raditz, Goku's brother, first landed. When Vegeta and Nappa were on their way to Earth to catch a fade, when they learned about Frieza, and then they went to planet Namek, and they're encountering all of Frieza's underlings, Zarbon, Deborah, a lot of cool characters. It's just, this Versus manga is just very reminiscent of how those early ages of Dragon Ball Z made me feel. Made me feel excited. It made me feel like, man, their looks are so cool. Zarbon had his transformation, and it's just, everything was just really cool. You had the Ginyu Force, and they were all showing the different things that they were capable of. It's very reminiscent of that, because all of these demons have their own unique look, and they all have their own unique abilities, and I just think that it's really cool. I noticed immediately that all four of them, Kiva and the other three, they immediately were like, we're gonna fight as a unit. Because when they started attacking the Mandarin, they basically worked in unison with one another. They didn't attack at the same time, but they were attacking one after the other. I just really enjoyed the way they worked as a unit together. I thought that that was really cool. However, obviously, if you've seen the chapter, even though all four of the demon executives teamed up, they still didn't damage the Mandarin. He doesn't have a fucking scratch on him, bro. And again, this is just one. The other are chilling. They're fine. Like, this is concerning for the demons, bro. It really is, right? It's not looking good, bro. It's looking like they just don't have it. These Matterings are on another level. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I really thought that when all the humans were arguing with each other about whose enemy was stronger, the people who really went at it was the giant world people, the cosmic devil world people, and I think there was like one other that really went at it. They were really trying to push the point of, bro, you don't understand. My fucking enemy is crazy strong. And the cosmic devil world people were one of the people saying that. And I ain't gonna lie, bro. At first I was like, man, they not fucking with the demons though. Like, all these people think that their enemies are strong, but I think these demons, I think they up there. But I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. These fucking Matterings are fucking nasty, bro. They're nasty. And again, for all we know, these could just be low-level soldier Matterings. There could be higher ranked Matterings. Maybe the Matterings have a transformation. There could be a king. There could be a queen. Maybe it's like a hive kind of alien species, you know, and they have a queen that's super strong. Who knows? Maybe they can all fuse together to form one organism that is extremely strong. Like, there's still so much that we need to learn about all the enemies in general, but particularly these Matterings. But even as they sit right now, bro, they're like up there with the Demon King. I really feel like, I don't know. I'll make my prediction at the end of this. So I noticed that almost every blow from the Mattering is lethal to the demon. Every time this Mattering, this one Mattering, hits these demons, they're at death's door, bro. Like, of course, the Mattering punched Kiva in the stomach. He fucking went flying and was unconscious, right? But then even after he was attacked by all four of the monster executives, he kicks them. After he kicks them, they are impaled, bro. Their skulls are caved in. They're just fucking mutilated, bro. And he's just kicking them. Like, how strong is this thing? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. And basically, man, if it weren't for the humans reviving them, bro, I don't think that these demon executives would have a fucking chance. I really don't. Now, Demon King Jachi is a whole nother story. Maybe even the other Demon Kings that are behind him and most certainly in front of him. Because remember, he's the 11th. I'm assuming all 47 of the Demon Kings are probably ranked based off of their power level. So if Demon King Jachi is number 11, I would assume that people who are after him, 12, 13, 14, etc., they're probably slightly weaker than him, but still powerful enough to be a Demon King, right? To be appointed by the Great Demon King to be a Demon King. So I would assume that they're weaker than him. However, Demon King Jachi is number 11. So there's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, etc., before him, which means that there's Demon Kings, if my theory is correct, there's Demon Kings that are in front of him in rankings that are much stronger than him. And then of course you got the Great Demon King, who is the strongest. And I would imagine, oh my God, I can't wait to fucking see what he's capable of. Oh my fucking God, bro. Him, the chieftain of the giants, I can't wait to see what these fucking bosses do, bro. I can't fucking wait. But yeah, now, of course, one thing that I thought that was really interesting at the end of the chapter 12, is once the demons are regenerated again by the humans and they go for another attack, they have all transformed. Kiva, we've seen Kiva's transformation a million times, right? But apparently the other three executives can transform too, because they've transformed and they look different now. Some of them are bigger. One of them, the one that was originally bigger, is now a little bit more muscular and more fit, but his tail is turned into this giant, almost like worm creature. It's just really cool, bro. Again, they all have their own unique set of abilities and powers, which just makes it so exciting. Usually at the end of these chapters, I'll try to guess like what's going to happen in the next chapter. Honestly, guys, I'm so blown away by how good this chapter was and just I'm so blown away about the abilities of the Matarins, but also what the demons are capable of, how there's so many of them. Now the humans are helping them regenerate. So I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen in the next chapter. I don't know if these 4 demon executives, I keep almost saying monster executives, because in One Punch Man, the Monster Association, you had Monster King Orochi, and then you had the Monster Executive. Homeless Emperor Neon, I think his name was. What was the one with the fucking spikes in his head? I can't remember what his name was. The karate dude. It was like Giru or something like that. You had Gums. You had the ugly one. Fura Ugly or whatever. Black S, which eventually became Golden S and Platinum S. You had the monster executives, right? So I keep almost wanting to say monster executives, but it's demon executives. But I digress. I don't know if the demon executives are going to be able to pull it off. If they're continuously being regenerated, especially if they become more powerful every time they're regenerated, they might just keep building in strength to the point to where they can actually defeat the one Matarin, but then what if the other 3 get involved? You know, so I don't know. Or no matter how strong they get, no matter how many times they're regenerated, maybe they can't defeat the Matarin, and maybe Demon King Jachi is still gonna have to come. Maybe he's just gonna be like, yeah, you guys were kind of taking a while, so I thought I'd just come check it out, see how things were going. Or maybe a Demon King that is at a lower rank than Demon King Jachi. Maybe that Demon King will come and rectify the situation. Like, who knows? Maybe one of the other 11 enemies will step in and do some. Maybe the artificial intelligence made a new robot that's even stronger than the ones previously, and maybe that one comes crashing down and fucks up the Matarins and shit like that. Who knows? But maybe a calamity comes through. Maybe one of the bandits from the bandits world comes through, and maybe they have a special weapon. Maybe the parasite comes through. Maybe the giants come through. Like, bro, who knows? That's what makes this so exciting, guys. I cannot say that enough. This manga is so fucking exciting. I fucking love it. This shit is crack. And it sucks we gotta wait a month each time to get a new chapter. However, Kiyotaro Azuma is doing an amazing job with this manga. His art is so fucking good. I know I've criticized it just slightly a little bit in the past, but I've also every time I criticize it, I also praise him too. He got in his bag for this chapter, bro. I don't think that there is one bad image in this whole chapter. The fucking art is amazing. That's another thing. I just want to take the time to thank Kiyotaro Azuma and just appreciate the art that is in this. The fight scenes, even the still images, the contrast between the dark blacks and the shading and the fucking open areas is just amazing, bro. Just amazing. Kiyotaro Azuma fucking did his thing for chapter 12, bro. And honestly, if we keep getting chapters like this, so far One Punch Man has been my #1 manga. Every time they come out with a chapter, guys, I get it the day of. Okay, I get it the day of. I need me some One Punch Man manga. Need it. Gotta have it. Okay, webcomic. It's nice to know what's going to happen in the future, but obviously the art, not so much. I appreciate One for his great storytelling, but yeah, his drawing skills ain't really all up there. But as much as I love One Punch Man, bro, this might take that #1 spot, bro. We get another 3-4 chapters like this, maybe 5. Yeah, I think Versus might be my new favorite manga, especially due to how lacking the most previous chapter 200 of the One Punch Man manga was. It just wasn't touching this chapter 12 of Versus, bro. Wasn't even touching it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens, bro. So that is my thoughts on chapter 12 of the manga Versus. I know this is a little lengthy. I'm definitely going to edit it to trim it down and stuff. We'll be getting the newest chapter of One Punch Man, hopefully in about a week and some days. I'll review that. And unfortunately, we won't see the new chapter of Versus until the end of February. But I'm looking forward to that too. All right, guys. Well, if you like this video, hit the like button, go in the comments and tell me what you think about chapter 12. What do you think is going to happen in the next chapter? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. And of course, like always, if you like this content and you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button. I would love to, by the end of April, I would love to be at 1,000 subscribers, guys. Which I want to say that too real quick. We hit 200 subscribers and I really appreciate that. Thank you to everybody who hits the like button, who has subscribed. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for the support. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. Well, I hope you guys have a great day and I will see you guys later. Bye.